Welcome back to Change Ed, a podcast on a
Wait, we didn't say
forgot.
our things. You just kept plowing through.
This is not a democracy, you guys.
It's something.
We're a podcast on a mission to hear ourselves talk.
Changed. God, you could drop a bomb like that and then just keep start. Okay, I'm good.
Let me start over. Welcome back.
No, it's
to
kind of like
Change
he's
Ed,
not wrong.
Tony.
Changed.
Change it.
A podcast on a mission to hear ourselves talk.
That's our new tagline.
So far, we've been successful with 125 plus episodes.
Wait, do we really have 125 now?
Ish. By the time people listen to this, yes.
Really?
Thank goodness that we added Patrice because it would have been about 5 episodes.
Thanks, Tony. I think you're the only one that feels that way among this trio. I think Kuhn's like, what did I do?
Moving on.
Okay, how long are we going to live in the suspense of the mask situation? Because I can't with it. You're fogging up. I don't.
So for our listeners, right now I'm wearing a mask because
He wants this huge shock and awe.
put my summer dew on my face, and I've had a
Summer dew.
beard for 6+ years and thought it was time to change my appearance.
Ooh, interesting how he said that.
Yeah.
And now I hate it, so I'm wearing a mask. Actually, Patricia had the opportunity to see it yesterday. We were on a Zoom call together, and she saw it, and
I turned 9 shades of red and asked, what did you do?
it's one of the few times that she was totally speechless. Like, she said nothing, and I'm like, but we're podcasters. You're supposed to talk.
This is where you speak.
No, literally, I get on and he's like, I'm going to hit record. And I'm like, hit record? We're having a conversation. What's happening? He's like, I did something. And I'm like, okay.
That could mean so many things.
Right. He's like, I want to show you something. And I have 2 young boys. And when they say, I want to show you something, it's usually something really gross.
Yeah.
Right.
Standard.
So because I live with 2 teenage-ish boys, I was like, I don't want to see whatever he's going to show me.
Mhm.
So then he pops on right before he popped it on, I was like, oh God, he shaved his face. Get ready, Tony.
Is that really why you're wearing the mask?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You just wait because he doesn't even look like him.
Well, I mean, shockingly, I do. Just neither one of you ever seen me without a mask before.
Are you ready?
It's not going to be that big of a shock.
Oh,
No,
okay.
probably not, but you have to use your words. Okay?
Okay, use your
It is. It
You have to
is.
be a big boy and use your words.
Can I tell you before you take that off? I haven't been clean shaven since high school when the nuns used to come around and go
Oh.
like this. And if they could hear your name tag, if they could hear the
Stop
scratch,
it.
you had to go in the bathroom and
Did they
shave.
really?
Yeah. So since I went to college, I've had some kind of
Protest.
facial hair.
Yeah, protest.
All right, now I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Huh? He doesn't even look like him.
Not that shocked.
Are you kidding me?
That's nice.
He has no
Yeah.
upper lip.
I should have started with Tony with the bird.
Yeah,
I should have started there.
it's going to take me 5 minutes.
Yeah. My kids still jump. If I come around the corner, they're like, whoa. And they say that I look like my brother. And I'm like,
Is it because you have facial
I
hair?
think
It's
it
not
is.
that big of
Yeah, I think it is.
because it's not right.
No, I think I'm already used to it.
What?
Thank you, Tony.
You are
Yeah.
full of it.
No, I swear. I think it is because I have facial hair that it's not that big of a shock because I picture myself without. Yeah.
Yeah. Look who just got elevated to co-host.
Tony's always been co-host.
But now he's Coco, not Coco. Anyway.
I love that you wore a mask because you didn't like it, though. That's my favorite. I thought you were had some kind of terminal illness. I was very, very nervous for you.
Bringing in the COVID.
Look at that. Look at that. COVID's gone for a couple of years, and now I have a terminal illness.
I mean, not a laughing matter, but
Yeah. So.
No, it's just his face is very different.
I'm glad that I kind of like the unveiling. That's very you.
Yeah, it is.
If you just came in here normal, my face is shaved.
What's funny is
I feel like we have to have a picture of it, though.
It should be everywhere, the picture, yes.
I stopped at our IU to pick up this equipment before I went, and I talked to a number of people who said,
Did you see DFG?
Nothing.
nobody said anything. People that we see every day.
How long have you been clean shaven?
I just did on
48
Wednesday.
hours.
Oh, you already have it's growing back.
Yeah.
What is
That's
your
I sit
most?
here and I go, Yeah, I make my angry face so it pops up.
You look at least 5 years younger.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I just think.
My kids are like, all right, son, when do you go into high school next year?
So it's a really big shock for you.
I don't like it.
I'll never shave now.
Good. Please
For your
don't.
reaction. Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
don't.
Thank you.
Well, I don't like change.
Change. That's fair. Change it.
Good.
Don't
I mean,
change
I
it.
do
This,
like
podcast, that
change,
makes sense.
but like the way he did it too was a little not nice, right? Like I
You
show
need a
up,
heads up.
I needed something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like he got what he wanted. He got the reaction out of me that he wanted because I was like, this is not.
What inspired the change, Ed?
Are we talking about the podcast or are we talking about my beard?
Your beard. Podcast is what it is.
I went with my son to get our summer haircuts because I look like Wolfman. I mean, I achieved that.
Your hair was
that goal.
very puffy. Yeah.
Must be nice to grow hair. Go ahead. Continue.
I checked that off the bucket list. And I was talking to him about it on the way. Actually, what I wish I had done is I originally had him shave everything except for my mustache. And I definitely was rocking the Magnum PI. And I was like, oh man, I look like him. And he's like, you look like you're from the 80s, Dad. And he was rolling on the ground laughing. So I shaved it off and I'm like, now I look like I just got my driver's license.
Yeah.
But it was just time for something different. Like it'd been long enough. And
But why are the sideburns so long then?
that's because my barber was like, you're the
Sticking
coolest person
out.
I've ever met.
Is that normal? Sideburns like that?
He said to do them on a slant because it's a better style. I don't know.
All right.
There's lots of things I'm trying to work out here.
Okay.
But I want to use this as an analogy within our conversation
Of course you do.
is with this shock value of, drastically.
Clearly
I
not as
changed.
much for Tony as it is for me.
Right. Well, Tony's wearing sunglasses, so he can't see it all as well.
I'm also very far away from him.
Yeah.
You want to get up in there?
He's nearsighted, so he can't see it.
That's right.
But he probably thinks I still have a beard because I have this microphone in my
That's
face.
great. Yeah.
Oh.
Could this be a comparison to what it's like for a lot of our teachers who had been teaching science one way forever and then Steels came along? Is that like that the same kind of shock value where you're like, what? Wait, you just totally changed the way that science looks. They could feel like we got rid of a bunch of stuff or maybe that we added stuff. So maybe I was clean shaven and then I added this beard and you're like, wait, I don't even know what your face looks like anymore. Could that be the same kind of shock and awe for our educators in this change that we're making, moving to NGSS and moving to Steels?
I think if it's done right, yes. If it's looked at just another change in standards, then no. I think if we're looking only at the DCIs, if we're only looking at DCIs and not recognizing the SCPs and the cross-cutting concepts, then yeah, I don't think it would be as much of a drastic change. Yeah, we're just not teaching this in biology anymore, or we're not teaching this in chemistry anymore. But the addition of the science and engineering practices and the cross-cutting concepts could be that, I think.
I think our two reactions are exactly probably how teachers feel. There's some teachers that are like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is insane. Why are we changing again?
Yeah.
Because we do change something every 5 years when the state decides to.
Right.
But then there's probably some teachers that are like, all right, well, let's do it.
Roll with it.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking that, again, let's go from the analogy is having a beautiful, luscious beard to trimming it off and having a face that terrifies some and doesn't impact
It didn't
others.
terrify me. It was just very different.
Again, I want to use this analogy as like there are different ways that people then absorb these new standards, right? So it could just be this new process, this new philosophy in education, because if they're taking it just as standards, so maybe they're just going to trim their beard, right? Everything else stays the same. I just trimmed it a little closer, a little different than I normally do. So kind of appears a little different, but my beard's still there. But then others who maybe just adopt some things, maybe they've got these really cool sideburns now, and they've got like a goatee, or like there's a lot of different ways that these can be adopted, and it will look different. But I guess my question is this as drastic as it is for a teacher if they're adopting and embracing all that Steels is this how different it would look if I was in your 9th grade science class this year and then I was retained and because I didn't do anything or, whatever the cause is. And by some miracle, I came back to the exact same class next year. And over the summer, you adopted everything with Steels. Is this what it would feel like to me to be like, I've never even been in this class. I've never done this. Is that how drastic it actually is? Or is that just how it feels on the surface when you're looking at it? It feels like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
I feel like it depends on the teacher. I think there were some teachers that were already teaching using this mindset in terms of like the way in which they're approaching science. But for some, it's going to feel, I think like Tony said, it's hard to tell, hard to generalize.
Yeah, I think some people will just treat it like getting a new textbook. Like here's something new. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to teach it. And others, it's going to be a pain.
Yeah.
So part of what I'm hearing is like, there is a drastic component to this. There is something different, and it requires you to think differently, and for others as well. Like I look in the mirror now and I'm like, oh my Lord, it was a stranger. And I said, my kids are shocked when they see me. Like it's been a couple of days and it's still it's been 6 years of their lives. For 3 of them, it's been half or more than half of their life that they've identified seeing me that way. So when we think about teaching with the Steele's mindset, for a lot of these teachers, it might even be half or more than, or all of their career that they taught a certain way. So this will feel like a very drastic, it might take them a while to get used to this, or every day you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, this is how we're teaching now? This is what I'm doing? And questioning it and wondering. And I'm wondering, what do you think in your experience would help teachers alleviate them from that shock value where it always feels like, something new, something surprising? Or is that where we're meant to be with this? Is that really like we're learning, they're learning, and that's what the rest of our careers look like? We're keeping it fresh. We're keeping it new. There's always something new coming out.
This doesn't really go with the beard analogy. However, I think the more teachers know, the easier it is. When I had a really cool experience that I was in a 4th grade classroom, we kind of co-planned. And then we were going to co-teach, but they kind of just ran with it, which was awesome. Nice. And we debriefed afterwards, and they're like, this is exactly what I was doing before. I just added a few more pieces. I just changed my delivery. I made sure every student spoke. I made sure that we actually stopped and reflected on the questions that they had, and put up a driving question board. So everything I was doing before, but now I just kind of I put on the wall. That's kind of how she put it.
A little more intentional.
Yeah. Way more intentional. So I think the more they know, the more they see it, the more they do it, it will become easier. But like anything else, any other type of change, it's going to be difficult at first to wrap your head around. And hopefully it's something that sticks. The more they know, I think the easier it is.
Were you connecting with them, the student-centered learning piece? It sounds like it was like trying to do a little bit of that, but not really.
No, I'm not.
Incidentally happened.
Incidentally, yeah.
That's kind of awesome. I just edited the student-centered learning one with Eric. And it's interesting to see how much of that student-centered learning can and should be implemented into these classrooms to make sure that the Steele standards are actually being implemented in the way that they were intended. It's interesting to see the interconnection, and it's kind of cool how the state is putting out stuff, not necessarily simultaneously, but kind of, sort of, with the student-centered learning piece and the Steele standards. Like the connections can be pretty strong.
Tony, what you were just sharing made me think of an analogy. I know you're both shocked that would happen. And what it was is that I, 2 weeks ago, switched out my bathroom mirrors. They were, original with the house. And so they're 60 years old, and it was time for new ones. And when we put up the new ones, one of them, we switched the direction with which the door opened. So it no longer opened left to right, and now opened right to left.
Yeah.
And when you were talking, that's what it made me think of, that maybe we're just changing the direction with which we open the door. Open the door to learning. Instead of opening it right to left, we're opening it left to right. And every time we go, and instinctually, even now, it's been 2 weeks, and I go to the left side and nothing happens. I'm like,
it's
and
muscle
I gotta go to the
memory.
right. Yeah. So I think in a lot of ways for us as educators, we got into that spot where it became muscle memory. And now we have to retrain our muscles. And so it will feel like work. It will feel like, oh, that's right. And then I open it, and guess what? It's not laid out the same. Nothing is where it was. So it's almost like also reorganizing your spice cabinet. And you're like, okay, well, I always go for this, but I moved where that is. Now, that's right. I moved it. And you like think about it for a minute while you grab it. And then you go back, and you kind of get back into your regular motion. You go and you do what you usually did. I think a big part of Steele's is forcing us to think about it different. How are we opening up the learning? How are we getting them into it? And that part needs to be different. A lot of the same ingredients are there. A lot of the same components are there. And we're actually going to add in some components. So it makes it more flavorful so that we can pull those flavors out more. I don't cook. I just consume. But in being a consumer, I know there are certain things that I can add to whatever this meal is to pull out a different flavor, or to heighten my experiences, or my palate can taste them differently. So I think that's a big part of what we're doing as well, is that we're adding in these things, we're adding in these components, and we're planning for them intentionally so that our students can have a more meaningful experience, but also one that is more longer lasting that they can then draw upon in the future.
Yeah.
I think an important note too is that we're trying to change for the better. You're changing out your mirror. You're changing up your face, for
for the better,
for hopefully the better, right?
I'm fighting with.
But like education, so many times we just change because, okay, our contract ran out, switch to something new just because we had to switch to something new. But this is research based, right? Like there's a reason we're changing and we're trying to change for the better.
Right.
We just have to give it time to take place. Like we've said since the beginning of this podcast, it's definitely not a marathon, or definitely not a sprint.
Yeah.
Cut that. Definitely not a sprint. It's a marathon. So when we change like this, and it's going to take time
to be part of a journey as educators across the country and the nation and the world, because guess what? We've had a listen in every single continent in the world.
Wow.
At least one listen.
I thought you created it so we could hang out with Tony more.
Yeah, that's when I had a beard. Now that's not the case. But
I kind of like being the only bearded one. So I appreciate you doing
now
that.
we can call
Well,
you the
you
beard.
know what?
and
Weren't you called the beard for a little bit?
Yeah, since I'm not talent or brains. Yeah, that's great. I just got growth on my face.
So rude.
However, if I did shave, I would have done it in stages. I would have done Fu Manchu for sure. And then the mustache.
I kind of want to see that. Don't do it.
No, I won't do that. But I would do it in stages for, yeah. Anyway.
So
to reduce the shock value?
I think
Or
just because I could.
Have it. Yeah.
Just to have it.
Wait, the Fu Manchu is what again?
Like the handlebar situation.
With the chin clean?
Oh, yeah. Clean chin.
Why would we do that?
For like a day.
Okay.
It's fun,
It's
kind of crazy that you get to do, like, I guess I could try. I can't grow a beard. I don't have the beard.
I can't grow hair on my head, so
But like, it's kind of fun that you can legit, like, I want to change my appearance. I have to dye my hair, which we all know I dye my hair a lot for someone who doesn't have money, but like I dye my hair a lot. But like, you can legitimately like change your entire appearance in a day and then take maybe like 2 or 3 weeks to grow it back to go back to what you were. That's crazy to me.
My wife likes the beard more than I do, so that's why I don't shave it. At this point, I'm just
good man right there.
Yeah.
pot committed.
Something about she's terrified to see your actual face.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm terrified.
Yeah. She told me she loved when we were wearing masks during COVID.
That's when she was most attracted to me.
Ever really talked to his wife?
I don't even know what she looks like.
Okay. So rude.
I'm trying to look up the continent thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I felt like I was starting a final thought, and then we got back onto the
I got extremely like, it's kind of cool. Like you can legitimately change your entire appearance in a day and then grow back to like nothing happened. It's nuts.
Next time we record, he will probably have a full beard again.
Yeah.
What is your take on it? Do you want growth back here? Or
Do you want a Fu Manchu? I feel like...
Because I think you look sharp with a bow tie and a stash. I think that would be the ultimate.
Yeah. I really wish I kept this.
Tom Selleck.
Like Tom Selleck style or like a thin, like...
No, not thin. I have a picture of it because
if you're going to do it, you might as well do it Tom Selleck.
And I didn't.
Wait, that's like thick, right? That's super thick.
I just golfed with the guy with the mustache, and like his whole persona was like
the stash.
It was perfect. It's exactly what I would want him to act like.
The guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't hate that.
I don't mind that.
I don't hate that at all.
That's what I'm going to regret.
You look like a state trooper, and I love that.
Super trooper.
Yeah. Yes! I didn't want to say super.
Wait, show it again.
I want to say state.
State trooper. Yeah.
So that's what I had, and I was like, I don't know. And then my son was like, no way.
I think you start there.
Yeah. So and I actually thought about the Fu Manchu as well.
But could you do the mustache with like a little bit of the stubbly stuff on the? Would that make it not?
Can you curl the ends?
I would like to wrap up this podcast.
No, stop.
I need a picture with you fully dressed. Please,
dear God,
with a bow tie and the stash only, and then I need it sent out.
And
that's a cover photo of the next.
I appreciate right now how you know Andrew so well that you had to say fully dressed with the bow tie, because there would 1,000% be an undershirt or
we don't have to go.
We don't need to go
loofah situation again.
Yeah.
So while you said this is easy to edit, I am going to wrap it up because we both know that I'm actually going to be the one editing it.
Why is that? No. I'm editing this one.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of great content in here.
I would like to hear from.
Wait, are you agreeing to edit podcasts?
I've been editing podcasts, and you know that.
Not as many.
I'd also like to reiterate the fan mail piece on Spotify. Love that people are chiming in.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Please continue to do that. Tell us what you think. We'll put out Andrew's picture as well.
Prepare for disappointment. So we've been talking about steals. We talked about the change and what that looks like. And from your perspectives, what's something that we haven't already shared about it, or something that you want to reiterate to teachers about the impact of this change? We started off talking about the handsome host and his lack of a beard.
Lord.
We've talked about the shift from one side of the cabinet to the other, how it opens. We talked about the spice rack. Like,
Do you notice he only talking about things he mentioned?
That's
Did
correct.
you notice that?
That's correct.
What
Nothing's changed in the 2 years we've done this podcast.
what's something that
Except his face.
you want to say? What's something that you would want to say to these teachers about these changes?
I think that I'm going to say what I usually always say. Like, you've got to be able to change a small amount of your practice to make it sustainable. You pick one thing you want to focus on. You focus on that, modify what you're doing to give it the most impact. And then you become consistent with that. And then you add on to it. I think if you are approaching the standards in the way that I approached your face versus the way Tony approached your face, it could feel monumental, right? Like, it could feel like there's so much that I have to change. And maybe that's true. But if you look at it from the lens of what one or two things can I change so that I can start to ease into this? That's what I would say.
Similar to what Patrice just said, choose one strategy.
Yeah.
Driving question board,
Yep.
scientist circle,
Yep.
modeling.
Yeah.
Just choose one. Don't get overwhelmed. Work it in. See how it fits. Talk to your colleagues. Tell them how it fit, how it didn't fit. Work together and just slowly roll this out.
Choose one and do it multiple times,
Yes.
because it's not going to work the first time, because we have to continue to help kids shift their way of approaching learning as well. Because it's not just you doing something different. It's helping kids shift their approach and how they're learning, especially if they're not young elementary. They've got a lot of background knowledge on how this has always been done. So you got to give it time, the one thing, and give it time to actually work.
And the thing that's resonating with me, we've heard this from me before, so it's not anything new, but know better, do better. And I think that's really important for our teachers is now we know better. We've been hearing about how it can be better, how it can be different, and specifically how we're engaging students in thinking.
Yeah.
Like RE education, we have the knowing part, we have the doing. There's a lot of strategies that are beyond science about how to engage students. All right, all of those based learning. So project-based, problem-based, inquiry-based, whatever it is, that's about the doing. But the thinking, we're trying to create human beings that can think deeply and meaningfully. So that comes back to us. That wasn't necessarily modeled for us as educators. And now we're looking to be pioneers in this space and to create this new frontier for learning. But it all starts with knowing better. And now that we know better, we have to choose. What does that mean? What does that look like? Am I going to go back to my muscle memory, what I've always known? I'm going to keep opening up the cabinet from the wrong side? Or am I going to shift? And just one small shift, I'm going to now open it up from the other side.
Yeah.
And maybe everything inside stays the same, but I open it up differently. And then, as you're saying, take that next step. Now, how about I rearrange the top rack? That's it. And just that part. And then take your time to make it meaningful and sustainable. So sustainability is a very, very big part of this. If you feel like you're being a phony in your own space, it's not going to last. And you'll find all of the reasons why you shouldn't do it. So being authentic and being genuine will allow you to find a way to maintain this and find reasons why it's going to work. So we choose how we react, and it might take a little bit of time. Maybe you want to find some more research. Maybe you want to look into it more. Having questions is not bad. Actually, that's what we encourage in science, is that we should ask lots and lots of questions. So asking questions means you're being a scientist. Being skeptical about something means that you're being a scientist. You have lots of questions to understand. Not getting the answers you want doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It just means that maybe there are hard things to have conversations about, or maybe there's a different reality, or we've shifted our focus. Maybe something is more important than we've allowed it to be for a long time. We've been part of lots of conversations about assessments and the value of assessments and the value that we put on assessments. So it's something that we can all reflect on and think about and say, what is most important? What do we care most about? What will change students' lives for the better? And for us as educators, I can tell you what will change your life for the better is
more Change Ed.
Always listening to Change Ed and sharing it with everyone you know.
Well said.
I zoned out a little bit. Shut up. Nope. Shut up.
You killed it.
You look so much like your mom now. You have your mom now. From what I remember.
Can't remember.
No, but like just your profile.
That reminds me of the one when Tony's like, you got a purty mouth.
You got a bird mouth.
Sorry. It was just the profile of it. I was like, oh, wow.